Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Shelly's Millions. Thank you guys so much for liking the video already. And I forgot to add, I'm not used to doing these Monday chats yet, so I forgot to add the members only questions. So I don't have any members only questions. I do have questions from Adrian about Fed Ed. I'm going to do that first. From Caesar about his 11 weeks are added, but his claim balance is still zero. You guys, I think that the chat is enabled, but I don't see anything from anybody yet. So I'm going to type the word test. And if chat is working for you guys, don't hit me up all at once, but if somebody could type something there in the chat, that would be great. Anyway, maybe I'll actually be caught up on the chat. I didn't have it enabled before I went live because I was hoping, okay, perfect. Yes. Hi, Jenny. I love when she pops in. Okay. Yeah, I kept chat not enabled and from the community post I did earlier. So his claim began in April of 2020. Most unemployment claims had enough to last them a total of 26 weeks, but some people, they had enough earnings for a traditional claim, but not to last the full 26 weeks. So I think that's the boat that Adrian's in. So he used his initial claim, then he got the 13 weeks of PEUC, and that ended in November, and he never got anything afterwards. So normally they would check to see if you qualify for Fed Ed. And if you didn't, they were supposed to put you onto a PUA claim. So, Adrian, I think that's what happened with your claim. I don't think they ever got around to putting you onto a PUA claim. Welcome, new member Anthony. So that's what they should have done. And I'm not sure what they're telling you when you call, but to me, it sounds like you didn't meet the earnings requirement to qualify for Fed Ed. And a lot of you are about to go on to Fed Ed. So just a reminder, those earnings requirements are in your whole base period that the EDD used to determine your weekly benefit amount. You need to have made in that whole base period, that needs to be more than 40 times your weekly benefit amount, sometimes abbreviated as WBA, or in the whole base period, more than 1.5 times your highest earnings quarter. And that's only listed on your original benefit award letter. So that's a little bit hard to find. I did make a video though about how to find your base period if you're confused about that. So Adrian, I hope that answers your question. Caesar, and I also want to say, you guys, please just ask your question a maximum of 2 times over there in the chat. Otherwise, it gets like distracting. I don't mind if you write in all caps, but just please don't. He said that he thought I asked for people to ask the question multiple times. No, please don't ask the question more than twice. It's just I get behind in the comments. Okay, so Caesar's question left over from yesterday was he had a claim balance. So as of 12/26, and they hadn't loaded up his additional 11 weeks of PEUC benefits yet. And I just looked, he shouldn't have been in that part that was affected by the glitch for people on PUA. He did recently call and he was told that they can see that the 11 weeks have been added, but the claim balance just isn't there yet in his claim for him to certify. So I actually would expect that to change in a few days. I know it's hard because today's February 1st and we're all trying to pay our bills. So that is frustrating, but it's good that they can see the 11 weeks, even though you can't see the claim balance yet to certify and move ahead and get paid. But that should mean that the wheels are turning and you'll get paid soon. Then lastly, and then I'll get to your questions over here in the chat, is Esther's benefit year is ending. She's already on Fed Ed and she wants to know what comes next. So if you're on Fed Ed and your benefit year is ending, they are wanting you to reapply. That's different than reopen. They want you to reapply or file a new unemployment claim. Those things are the same. If you qualify, you'll just get your whole new claim. If you don't qualify, that's when they'd add the 11 additional weeks of PEUC. And of course, there's new stimulus bills in play, none of which have passed that could change all of that. All right. So now on to your questions. I'm glad that it is working. If everybody could take a minute and like the video, that would be great. Aaron says, I did the ID.me video approval last Wednesday, but still no update on EDD. And again, even when you get the verification from ID.me, they still have to, you've been verified by them, but not necessarily by the EDD. So after you get that notification from ID.me, they have to send that over to the EDD. And I'm told that they're backlogged on sending it over to them. Once the EDD gets it, they need to lift your suspension of claim. Then after that, that's when you'll be able to go from pending and actually get paid. And that process can take up to 30 days from the time the EDD gets your paperwork. So it can still be a lengthy process, and ID.me is allegedly behind on sending over the verifications to the EDD. Anthony says, I've been on FedEd for approximately 8 weeks and have $400 left on my claim. What happens next? I thought FedEd was supposed to be for 20 weeks. So this is interesting. You're the first person that has had this happen. Again, this is, it's based on your earnings. So I'm drawing a blank on exactly how it's worded right now, but it can be less than 20 weeks. I want to say for 4 people, it shouldn't be less than 14 weeks because it can be half of your original claim. So if you're like Adrian and your original claim was only 13 weeks, they can only pay you for half of that, which would be 7 weeks. And then right now the additional 7 weeks are ending. The other thing that might be for you, Anthony, is FedEd is also weird. Sometimes it's worded as 13 weeks plus 7 additional weeks. So what it could also be is that your benefit year is ending. Some of the FedEd's going to depend on your, how long, how far that $400 stretches you and your weekly benefit amount. Really, FedEd should never be less than a total of 14 weeks, but I can't imagine $400 lasting you another 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Maybe it's just your benefit year is ending. Maybe they're going to load you up with 7 more weeks. It's hard for me to say with that amount of information exactly what's going on. Okay, Eve said, should we wait for our last check from last year before we file our 2020 taxes from EDD? No, so for the EDD, you report your earnings in the year that you were paid. So the only time, so if your 1099-G has everything that you physically received in 2020, then you're okay. If you look at your 1099-G and it still says 0, then you're waiting for the EDD to update it. But if you've already seen, if you have a physical paper from the EDD, that should be correct. If you have something online with a dollar amount in it, that should be correct also. So even if you were paid for the week ending 12/27, but you didn't get that money, if it didn't go to paid until January, that's when you would report that money. I hope that made sense. Okay. Leslie retracted her question. Pyro Johnny says, so I exhausted FedEd and waited 3 weeks to be put on the 11-week federal extension. I was able to certify for benefits, but it's pending. How long does it take for federal to approve it? So you're not exactly waiting for the federal people to approve it. I don't know if Jenny's still on. We were actually just talking about this. So most people that have gone through all 20 weeks of their FedEd, you guys are going to be out of your benefit year, and it may even let you certify past your benefit year, but it really wants you to reapply for a whole new claim. And if you're approved, that's the path you'll go on. If you're denied, that's when they'll add those 11 additional weeks, and those weeks might switch from pending. So even if you were on FedEd and you were allowed to certify past your benefit year, which the 20 weeks would allow you to certify for 57 weeks, and a year is only 52 weeks. So it's possible that it's wanting you to file a new claim. And you can always call them to confirm that, because some people are reporting that they call the EDD and they're saying that if they're on FedEd that they haven't had to reapply. But what I suspect is happening, if that's the case, is that the representative is able to kind of look at your earnings in your base period and see if you have enough. No, that wouldn't be it they could still look and see if you had enough wages in your base period. It would be a new base period to qualify for a new claim. And if not, that's when they would give you those 11 additional weeks of PEUC. Okay, Zach says, do you know if there is any difference between verify your ID and ID me? I had both on my site. So verify your ID may have been like a button. That would be DocuSign, and that takes longer. I'm not sure if they're wanting both. ID.me is supposed to be faster. So that sounds like what that is. And if you had the button that said to verify your ID, that usually showed up for people before they were sent the ID link. Some people have had to verify their ID twice. And unfortunately, some people that used ID.me, they were told by the EDD that their documents still weren't enough and that now they're also being sent the DocuSign link. So I hope it didn't go ID.me and then DocuSign. I hope it went DocuSign and then ID.me. Brian says, I certified for 5 weeks, got 2 weeks pending, and no money on PUA. When did you certify for those 5 weeks? You might need to call and find out what's going on with that. I know that you guys hate to hear that, but a lot of times that's where we're at with these, because they're doing a lot of funky stuff with a lot of people's claims. Andrew Bebe, I just want to point out that he has a really funny YouTube channel, some of which is about not getting paid by the EDD. It's like a comedy thing, and I really like it. So check out his channel. I made $19K in unemployment, including boost. I saved $2,100. Would you say I'm in good condition or terrible? So again, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't work for the EDD. But my opinion is that you're in good shape. But it depends on if you have children or dependents. It depends on how much you got paid before the pandemic hit. There's a lot of different factors. I only saved $1,200 for taxes. I'm hoping I'll be okay, but I don't know yet. I went to my job, had to check things out there. My old job used their printer while I was there, printed out some tax stuff. So I'll be doing those shortly and making a video about that. Lynn, oh, good. I'm glad that trick worked. You guys, please be really nice when you're calling the EDD. I'm starting and it's a balance, right? Between calling them and trying to get the right rep and calling too much. I'm starting to see that, and I don't know if this is true, but it worries me that they're leaving notes in people's accounts if they see that they have tried multiple times, and like kind of putting negative remarks on your account. I don't want anybody to have that. Also, if you get through, don't mention any tricks. Definitely don't mention any YouTubers. They seem to, even though the reps give out a lot of information, it's not Jenny and I, but, and I don't know who it is, but I guess a lot of YouTubers are giving out bad advice, and then they're frustrated. They're over it. They don't want to hear, well, so-and-so said to do this. So just be nice and be like, oh, I don't know. I just got through on this line. Joan says, I did my ID me in the 15th of January and I'm on PEUC. When am I getting something? Again, it depends. So ID.me still has to send your documentation over to the EDD, and then they have up to 30 days to switch you from pending to paid once it's received at the EDD, and sometimes ID.me is behind. Something that I want to caution you guys about, right? Because I'm back and forth on whether to call or whether to not call. Like if you haven't been paid for a long time, I kind of do think you should call, but the EDD is like frustrated with people calling so much, and you guys are frustrated with calling so much. The thing that worries me is that it's possible to have multiple issues on your account. It's possible to have, Brian says, ugly background. I should change. I should go sit over here in my bookcase. It's possible to have multiple issues on your account. So the certification questions are flagging a lot of people even when they didn't before. So again, Be honest, but usually to avoid getting flagged, you want to answer questions 1 through 6 as no, with the exception of number 3, you want to answer that one yes. So I just don't want to tell you not to call if it's possible that there's a secondary issue holding you up. Okay. Diamond, oh, no. Yeah. Diamond Pikachu says, hi, Shelly. I finally got the 11 weeks to pay this morning. That is great. Leslie says, hello. I have PEUC with a claim balance. I did ID.me, no answer from EDD, and haven't certified from 12/26. I'm not going to answer that one again because I just answered a very similar question. Andrew, hopefully you mean that the EDD's stupid. Brian doesn't like the background. Okay. I'm gonna change it up. This is just more comfortable for me on the live streams for sure, but I promise to go back to the sitting on the couch in a lot of the videos. And I will be making a regular video and not just a live in a minute. Thank you, Javier. The donation is very appreciated, but not necessary. I know we're all on unemployment. Okay. And I'll be on the lookout for, and I love like the little emojis. Is that a little ghosty guy, a little mountain guy, stars? I don't know. Anyway, it's cute. Jorge, oh, I think I answered yours, but I'm going to again. My question was from, has to send the appeal form after we do ID.me, but I got through. They said yes. By the way, when you call in as an employer, it'll get you through. Yeah, I've heard that as well, that you can press the employer line, but that's one of the things that makes them angry if you do that. So I don't want to encourage people to do that. I don't want to do anything that like would make them angry and mess up your claims. Amber is saying, welcome, Anthony. Vanessa, hello. Future aunt. Your benefit year is ending March 15th, but your 11 weeks takes you beyond by 2 more weeks. Will I stay to collect the last 2 weeks of my 11-week PEUC? I'm confused on that. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. On a lot of the claims, it'll pop up on the homepage. It's not the reopen button, but it'll say that your benefit year has ended and you need to reapply. If you get that, you definitely need to reapply. PEUC, I think they have said that they will let that go past the benefit year, but Fed Ed, they've said that they don't want to let go past the benefit year. It's a mess. But Vanessa, you and I are like on the same schedule, and I think I'll be making a video on that as I find out more about that for sure. Let's see here. Oh, Benjamin Pike from where I work. Is it? Are you back at work? I miss work. I know a Benjamin Pike from work. I miss everybody a lot. A lot. Thank you for supporting the channel. If that's you, even if it's not you, new friend Benjamin Pike. Hi. Hi, all the Benjamin Pikes in the world. Sorry, I'm a crazy lady. Okay. Okay. Jonathan says, what about the part-time job with the extra 300? So as long as you get even $1 from the California EDD, you still qualify. If you have a part-time job and you make so much that you get the excessive earnings notice after you file for benefits, after you certify for benefits that week, then you would not get the $300. Anthony says, can you apply for a PPP loan and collect unemployment at the same time? It's really tricky. So, and I'm going to disclose this, that I've got this from watching Meet Kevin's channel. He says no. And the reason why, he says you want to pause your unemployment, right? And it depends on whether you have employees. Like you're supposed to use, like I didn't even know this. Well, I did know some of this. You can't buy a new laptop with PPP money. You can't buy like hard equipment upgrades with PPP money. It's supposed to be used for things like paying payroll and paying for the office that you're renting and paying for utilities at an office space, not your home office that you're renting. So there's a lot of things that you can and cannot use PPP money for. And so no, if you're paying yourself, if you're your only employee, right, you can't pay yourself a salary to keep you on the payroll and also be collecting unemployment. That's the way that I understand that. So Yeah. And something else that a lot of people, when they talk about the PPP loans, don't cover very well is they don't cover the fact that your business need to be in business before February 15th of 2020. So like for me, I was like, oh, I'm going to get the PPP loan and maybe I'll hire an employee to keep up with the comments. But I can't do that because I didn't start my channel until March of 2020, March 28th, 2020. If you had employees and you weren't going to use the PPP loan to pay yourself any wages, then possibly. And again, this is from watching Meet Kevin's channel. He suggests, just certify for benefits, but say that you're working for yourself and that you're earning whatever salary you're giving yourself. I hope that makes sense and answer that. Bree says, how long are claims in review? It's been a week and nothing. I talked to my assembly member today and they're going to call EDD and help me. So claims can be in review for a long time. Like I know that there's lots of people who have not gotten paid for more than 5 weeks. I know that there's lots of people, when all of this first started, there were employees where I worked, they didn't get paid for 10 to 12 weeks. So it can really take a long time. If you do need to do an appeal, that can take a long time. I will say this. Most assembly members are able to help get your claim moving, it seems like within a few days. So they seem to be really good about responding. So if you're having trouble getting through the EDD, that is already linked in the description of this video now, how to get your assembly member. That seems to honestly be one of the best ways to go. So you're on a good road that you've reached out to them. Anita says, I'm on PUA and I just received a letter saying request for eligibility information, but I'm on PUA and not UI. So that can be all kinds of things. Even if you're self-employed on PUA, they still want you to look for work. They still want you to be available for work. Even if it's childcare that's the reason why you're home, you may still have to explain that that's the reason why. That should be pretty easy to clear up, but you just may have to tell them that on the phone because it's an outdated system. It doesn't really understand that we're in the middle of what we're going through right now. Carolina says, when will phase 2 even start? They haven't said yet, unfortunately. That might be something that you would want to reach out to your assembly member on and say, hey, they've been giving us the runaround for a while. Just to kind of let you guys know where I am in the chat. I'm about 15 minutes behind on the questions. Mermaid Girl says, I have a 0 balance and I reopened claim. I also received in my inbox and text that I should qualify for the 11 weeks. Should I call? I certified 2 weeks ago and it just says not paid. So actually that tends to happen now as you're rolling over from 1 week to the next. When did you get the text and the message? Because that should actually be a good sign and should mean things are moving on your claim. But anytime, these are your claims, it's your money. So if you guys are feeling nervous, don't not call just because I was like, no, you shouldn't need to call. I would rather you call and hear it from the EDD than not call and worry about it. Like if it saves you stress, call them. But try not to call them multiple times because apparently they're putting notes in the accounts, at least not multiple times about the same issue if they've told you to wait. Sorry, guys. All right. Marie says they're saying PUA for Ohio, February 6th. Does that mean payouts? That at least should mean when you can start certifying again and that they'll start rolling it out. Hopefully Ohio's not like California and rolling it out in small little batches that will actually take forever to get paid. I'm not as familiar with what's going on in Ohio, Marie, because California is such a mess. But here they're doing it in really small batches. And even when they start it, it's not when it's finished. Lexi says, hey. Tracy says, I now have 3 weeks pending certification, 3 weeks no paid. Tried to call the EDD all day today with no success. I've emailed them every day for the past 3 weeks and no response. EDD is a broken system. I completely agree. Really, really try getting a hold of your assembly member, and that link is in the description of this video because that really seems to be helping lately. I see Heidi's in here. I lost my place on my questions though. I see Javier saying I'm amazing and I super appreciate that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I like tapped my stupid mouse and lost my stupid place. Okay. My computer's about as good as the EDDs. Daniel says hi from San Diego. Hello from San Diego. Where did you live in San Diego? Where do you live in San Diego? When I was working at a theater over there, I stayed in an area that they call the Birds. Oh my goodness, I've really lost my place. Okay. Shoot. Oh my goodness, how far behind am I? Okay. So you guys know what to do when I lose my place. Like the video. Why would you like it when I lose my place? But it buys me some time. Okay. I found my place, I think. EDD is a mess. Reach out to your assemblyman. Jared or Jard says, I've had to verify my identification 3 times now with ID.me, but never received any confirmation from the EDD or ID.me. The last time I certified, I called. They told me I never finished the process. So there's a thing at the end where you have to share your information with the EDD. So make sure that you do that step of the process. Or like email them back and be like, what step did I not complete? And see if they'll let you know and give you further instructions on how to do that. Ben says, Ben and I like the same kind of music. Hello, my fellow goth sister. Much love and appreciation. You should do live streams twice a week. I am trying to do them twice a week. I may change up the date because doing one Sunday and doing one Monday makes it hard to put out a regular video. And I've had some people be like, quit making these long things where you just say the same thing. So I'm going to play around with this, but I do want to try. This is the easiest way for me to get to people's questions. Victoria says, I'm on PUA. I certified for the first time in a month since last Monday, and I've been pending since. Is that normal? It's not normally normal to be pending for longer than 72 hours. So I guess I would call them to find out why. A lot of the claims they are updating in small batches, but really it shouldn't stay pending for that long. Again, they are starting to check the way people are certifying their questions and scheduling things called determination interviews. Question 1 through 6, you want to answer as no, and number 3 is yes, as long as those are truthful answers. Scarlet Moon says, what does it mean when you're approved for FedEd and your original UI expired in January? The EDD said I didn't need to apply for a new claim, but my claim is in review and is still in pending mode. I don't know what to tell you on that. So review usually means that it's a strange answer to one of the certification questions or an eligibility issue. That's normally why it's in review. So I'm not sure why they're saying you didn't need to apply, but now you're stuck in pending. On that, I would probably call them again and reach out to your assembly member if you're having trouble getting through. And I hate when that's the answer, you guys. I really do. But I don't want you to just be sitting around waiting and wait. Like, I don't know how long it's reasonable to ask people to wait. Andrew says he has a claim balance and doesn't have the 11-week balance yet. So that might be like something that I answered earlier, where when you actually call, you might have gotten the text or the message that the 11 weeks have been added, but you don't see it in your claim balance and you can't certify. If it's that situation, they should just be adding it within the next couple of days. That should clear up and you should be able to certify. Yeah, so Jared or Jard Johnson, please use the link in the description and reach out to your assemblyman and make sure to use the words financial hardship. Tony says, may I please have a phase 2 with 0 balance within a year? Then be safe. I don't understand. May I please have a phase 2? We don't have an update on phase 2 if you had a 0 balance before 12/26. Jillian said, if my PEUX claim gives me 11 weeks, but my benefit year itself ends in 10 weeks, I lose and never get paid that last week. So that's really going to depend. So keep in mind, guys, that right now, because there's not a new stimulus bill that's passed, the second phase, the 11 weeks of PEUC, it's not going to get you a full 11 weeks anyway, because that extension expires the week ending April 10th. So a lot of us are, if you're just now moving on to that 11-week extension, it all ends April 10th. The only program that will extend past that right now is Fed Ed, unless they pass a new stimulus bill. So we're going to have to kind of wait to see what they want you to do on that. If they want you to reapply or if they'd move you over to Fed Ed. But yes, it's possible at this point that you won't get the whole 11 weeks. Anthony, I opened up my claim on March 29th, 2020. I exhausted my 26 weeks of unemployment, and then I got the 13-week extension of PEUC. I got a part-time job with a new employer 4 months ago. When I reapply, do I put my new employer or other employer that I got furloughed with? So you're really thinking ahead, which is great. Because you won't need to reapply then until after April. But I do, I don't want to steer you wrong, but like when you certify currently, you've put that new employer's name. I think they'll look at both and you'll just say that you're working reduced hours with this employer kind of due to COVID-19, I believe. Maybe call them about that, but luckily you don't have to worry about that for a little while, and I'll dig more into that, I promise. Diana says, I tried the EDD office today, but I guess they're too busy and couldn't get through. And that happens even if you have a trick, that line fills up as well. And it's just hard to get through, especially Sunday, all the days really right now, but especially Sunday and Monday when people are just trying to certify and then they can't get through Sunday and then they're calling Monday. I'm really hoping that whatever they do in the update tonight fixes things. Anthony says, thank you so much for helping. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, thank you, Anthony and Jared Johnson. Oh, thank you guys. I try, and I really don't like when I don't have the answer for you, and I will try and find it. It may take me a little while, but I will try. Donna says, just wondering, when you apply for the 3 jobs per week, do you send a cover letter with them? Thank you for all your information. I don't, guys. I just go online. Like, I'll look at Tesla. I'll see if the Tesla location closest to me has any job openings. And if they do, then I apply. Sometimes like websites will say like that they're not currently hiring. So I'll just say that that I reached out to them and that there was no response for employer, like I just do their little online thing. I mean, like I'm half-heartedly trying because I'm still furloughed and I love that job. Okay. Rich said, I forgot you had a live. Glad I made it. Seeing you meet Kevin's live with Elon Musk. The dude is funny. Elon Musk was talking about how people are already like bionic and about how he put like things in monkeys' brain. It was really interesting in that new forum Clubhouse. Yeah. I'm trying to get my money, guys. So yeah, I'm trying to see what these millionaires are weird billionaire. I don't even know. Elon Musk was the richest man in the world I don't know. Whatever. That stuff interests me. I'm getting better at it. Going to learn that stuff this year. Maria says, if I had an old balance, can I reopen it? If you're within your benefit year and you need to access your account again, then yes. Jared says, is there another way to send your ID verification? There's the mail, but that's going to be really slow. So I don't recommend that if you can at all avoid it. Ben says, I hope the new bill states in its language, no need to reapply for a new benefit year. Do you agree? I agree. That would be so good, but hopefully the EDD's programming could like figure that out. Okay. Jay Hearn 2. Here we go. Yo. Oh my God. Here we go. Yo. I was supposed to like read that like that all yesterday and didn't. Anyway, well, there you go. Yo. All right. Your 1099 still shows 0. Susan, they have been given through February. So I guess that means through the end of February, but they have been given an extension to update the information on your 1099G. Mermaid Girl says, is EDD doing an update tonight? They are, and I'm hoping that will fix a lot of people's claims, or at least more people's claims. Robert says, please let people know that if we certified for benefits when we had an amount from the last extension, it won't count for the current one, and the EDD will take longer to fix it. Okay, I just let people know that. Gotta rock it, don't stop it. Magusna says, my 1099 doesn't match my payments. So again, it's just going to be everything that you were paid. I'm going to make a note to myself. There are instructions. I do not have that handy for what to do. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's, if 1099 doesn't match. Okay. I've made a note. Okay. But there is something that you can, there's like a special email link that you can contact them and let them know that you don't agree with the amount that was listed. Sharon says, my EDD said maximum has paid and my balance is 0. What does it mean? Can I reapply? You can only reapply if your benefit year is over. They should be automatically updating it. But on that issue, a lot of people have reported that by calling, that speeds up the process. Francis says, I still haven't had the 11 weeks added to my claim, and my claim is running out in 2 weeks. So if you're regular unemployment, they don't ever add it early. So the normal kind of process should be that the claim balance goes all the way down to 0 first, and then that's when they add the 11. Then it says maximum benefits paid. And then usually before your next certification date, you'll see the date that you can certify, but your claim balance will still be at 0. And then it's not till the day you certify that you see it go up. The problem that has happened right now is that people have hit 0. They've seen the maximum benefits paid message. They've waited 2 weeks and then they weren't able to certify. But you don't have to worry. Like, there's not going to really be much that they can do about that until your claim actually hits 0, unless you're on PUA and then they add it before you hit 0. But there are still some PUA claims that they haven't added it to yet. I hope that made sense. Okay, Jonathan says, is there an end date to the extra 300 that we have now? Yes, the hard end date for California is the week ending March 13th. That some of us will certify for that week on March 14th. The rest of us will certify for it the following week. And if we don't certify, I guess that would be the March 21st. Then we would only get 1 week of the $300 boost. $300 boost was only good for 11 weeks, and that's the week ending March 13th. Okay. Rich says, if they get it signed before this one expired, yes, that would be so great. Joel says, do we get Fed Ed at the end of all our benefit years now? Kind of not sure if we go on that or PUA. So Joel, it's all tied into the California's unemployment rate, which I'm sure will still be high for the foreseeable future. But then you do have to meet the earnings requirements. Keep in mind, right now, PUA also expires the week ending 4/10. So until that new stimulus bill is passed, that's when PUA and PEUC or PEUCX or whatever they're calling it these days, whatever you young kids call it these days, that's when that expires, 4/10, until a new stimulus bill is passed, which they're dragging their feet on again. So the only option after 4/10 would be Fed Ed, but there's earnings requirements for that. Or if you're in another state, it's called EB. Those earning requirements are 40 times your weekly benefit amount in your whole base period, or more than your highest quarter, more than 1.5 times your highest quarter in your whole base period. So that's the options right now. FGA says, does anyone know what's up with the update tonight? No, at least I don't. Spider-Man says, thanks for all your help and information. You're a beautiful person. Thank you guys so much. And I really appreciate you guys. And I really want to help you guys. And I feel sad when I can't. But I'm doing my best. And that's all I can do. Okay. Dreams says I reapplied. Now it says reopen. Should I reopen? I hate this reopen button. I hate it. Okay. It's not nice to hate, though. I was just like, I love you guys. I hate the EDD. Okay. So I don't hate the EDD, but they're frustrating me. The choices on the reopen button are either call them or wait for it to disappear on its own. But people were like, my boss, he had to travel out of town. He's still waiting. It's been 6 weeks and that button's still there. 5.5. That button is still there. So I don't know when it's going to go away. So I would probably call them on that. FGA says still 0 since December on PUA. Did it hit 0 before 12/26? If so, you're part of phase 2 and they haven't started updating, or even let us know when they're going to update phase 2. Otto says, my girlfriend's on PUA and she's certified and got paid already. I'm on PEUC and I still have the reopen claim button. Call them about that stupid button. That's I think my advice on that. The reps are able to remove that. William said, I made $21,710 with no federal tax withheld. Do you think if I saved, yeah, but I don't know because I'm not a tax professional, but it looks like you actually saved more than 10% on that. And so I would think that should be enough, but I don't know because I'm not a tax professional. I hope you get a refund, or I hope that you have a little left over in your savings. Roxana says, hi. Anthony says, I got $400 a week on my claim, but I only have 1 week left. That makes a total of 8 weeks. Ends April 14th or April 4th. So Anthony, were you someone that only got 13 weeks on your initial claim? If so, right, because you're on Fed Ed and it's going to end, but your benefit year is not over. I think, or that only will take you through April 4th. Either way, I think they'll be adding 7 weeks to your claim. But I have to admit, I get confused about what the original situation was because that was 40 minutes ago now. Don't hate me. Okay. So, but if they only gave you enough to cover 8 weeks, they should be adding more weeks, but it doesn't last for a full 20 weeks for everyone. But the least amount of weeks really that it should last for anyone is 14. I don't know what they're doing with your claim, quite honestly. It's probably just better to say, I don't know. Norman, what you know about Colorado? I don't know a lot here, but I've had a lot of people from Colorado ask me about that, mostly people on PUA, and they are starting to roll that out. But again, like California's doing it in batches. I made a note to myself to look up information about Colorado. I might not be, since I'm not sure what particularly about Colorado you need to know. I'm just going to Google an article and I'll link it though in the description of this video about 15 minutes after I go live. Hello, Daniel. Francis says they need to waive our taxes this year. It's crazy. I really wish they would, but here's the thing. Like in other states that aren't California, they were able to properly tax it. So even though California has, but other states have other problems. So California wasn't able to tax the extra boost, but other states already had it taxed. So it's certainly not going to be fair if other states had to pay it and we don't. And I am starting to hear that even if they forgave some of the unemployment money in terms of taxes, that we probably wouldn't see it when we file this year. We'd probably have it as some sort of credit on our taxes next year. Okay. Roxana says that she did her ID 3 weeks ago and still doesn't see her payment. So again, it takes time to get it from the ID.me to the EDD. Then it takes time for the EDD to lift the suspension, and it can take up to 30 days from the time the EDD gets it. But it is taking most people less time than that. Heidi, who's in the chats often, she told me that she did it a few days ago and she's already gotten verified and paid. So the only reason why I would suggest calling the EDD is just to make sure that there's not any other issues on your account that are preventing you from getting paid. If I could ask everybody to like the video. And Andrew Bebe with the cool YouTube channel says, we need to get our claims extended longer because new strains of COVID are here and there's no way by March things will be fully normal. It's too soon. Yeah, and I do think even the Republicans, right, which are generally the ones who don't want to extend things as long, even in their proposed plan, they want to extend it through June. I feel like even June isn't enough time. Like the unemployment computer systems are still not going to be updated by then. And it's just going to be a mess is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think it's going to be over by June. I think it's going to take a long time to get everybody vaccinated. And I think that, I think Biden's plan has $400 a week and the Republican plan only wants to give us a $300 a week boost. At least Biden's plan, it would kind of like the unemployment office. Like I actually feel kind of bad for them. I don't feel bad that they haven't communicated with us. I think that that's really crappy, but I think that they've been dealt a bad hand. There was not a good way to do this. At least if they extend unemployment through September, it gives them time to breathe and catch the system up and figure out what they're doing before they just have to turn around and figure it all out again. So I hope we go with Biden's plan, $400 extra a week through the end of September. That would be amazing. Okay, Evelyn says, I just have 1 week, but it tells me I can certify. Should I certify or wait when I'm supposed to? No. If it tells you can certify, then certify. That actually probably needs to happen. You probably only have enough in your claim to pay out 1 week. So then that's what causes your claim to go down to $0 left in it. Then you'll probably get the maximum benefits paid message. That's normal. And then normally when that happens, you would actually be able to certify again the following week, and then that week would be for 2 weeks. But yes, if you guys have dates to certify for them. Certify for them. That kind of like gets the next step going. Okay, Francis. So PUA, I need to reapply. PUA doesn't really need to reapply. It's only really people on regular unemployment because the whole PUA program goes away for 10 unless it's extended. So the people on PUA, even when your benefit year is over, you don't need to reapply. There won't be a way to do that. Okay. Elizabeth says, hi, Shelly and everyone. Wanted to say, keep calling EDD until you get answers you need. I think I actually got help from a compassionate EDD rep today. The rep before that was a joke. Don't give up. And I tend to agree, but if you get a bunch of bad reps in a row, they're starting to say that they're putting like notes in people's claims or something. I don't know. I actually hope that's not true. But also, yeah, don't give up if you really need help, and reach out to your local assembly members, link in the description, because they really have been able to help a lot of people. Although you guys have been great about doing that. And I've started to hear that their offices are getting overwhelmed as well. But you know what? Maybe that'll push them to help advocate for EDD reform. Spider-Man says, I agree with you, Francis. My taxes are going to be through the roof with unemployment. GS says, hi, Shelly. I called the EDD today, tier 2. And he said, because the ID verified department is lagging behind, there's pay stop alert on pending payments like mine. That's interesting that they've just put a pay stop alert. Yeah, and they can't pay you until the ID stuff is fixed, unfortunately. And I don't even think the assembly members can help with that, but it doesn't hurt to tell them that you're having a financial hardship. Make sure to use the terms financial hardship when you reach out to your assembly members, and then that is one of the ways to try and kind of speed things along. But ID verification is one of the things I'm not sure that they have a way around. Eduardo says, I got the EDD text verification yesterday. When will I get paid? It should be soon. Jared saying hi to Jenny, who's probably not in here anymore. Oh, yeah. Oh, Armin is saying that he saved 10% for taxes, I think. And again, that should be good. If you do end up owing more, it wouldn't be much more, and hopefully you'll actually end up owing less. But again, not a tax professional, but I do like money. Okay, Spider-Man says you can probably certify Sunday. Sorry, I missed Takita and Jeremy's squads. Oh, no, I didn't. They said hello. It's dreams that retracted. There's Victoria says, I'm on PUA. I certified for the first time in a month last Monday, and I've been pending since. Is that normal? Not really. I would probably call them. Guys, I am like very far behind on these. So I might not get to everybody's question. I am going to try and cut this one off at an hour. So I'm really sorry if I didn't get to your question. Hopefully in answering someone else's question, it also answered yours. Jillian said, since none of us have been working the past 12 months, but all of us automatically disqualified for a new 26 weeks of unemployment, not enough wages. Not necessarily, because like it depends on your base period. And again, I made a video on this. Like, I think, even though I haven't been working since March, so my year won't be up until March, I think that I'm going to have enough in my base period to qualify for a new claim. And the reason why is when I applied in March, they didn't use wages from January, February, or March to qualify for my claim. They used a base period of October of 2018 through September of 2019. So I'll actually have 6 months of payments. So when I applied March 2020, my base period was October of 2018 through September of 2019. So that'll be the case for a lot of people. Like if you worked your job for a lot of years, so that's like that's 5.5 months of wages that they'll have to use to calculate a new benefit amount for me. What else did I want to say about that? Sometimes they also want you to have worked a little bit within the last year. But again, like I did have it was literally just a few days, but I did have a few days where I was called into my old job to like check on the building or like do paperwork. I might go in to help employees, like all our W-2 stuff is online, but like none of them have printers and they're going to have forgot their passwords. So like I might have a day where I go in and like let the employees come in and print their stuff. So yeah, so it is possible that you would have enough wages in your base period to qualify for a new claim. Anyway, Mary says, I believe I'm going to owe a lot of money. Yikes, I'm afraid to even file. I mean, don't be afraid. Even if you owe, they will work. They're actually pretty good about like making like a really small payment plan with you. I'm talking like a $10 a month kind of payback thing, something manageable. Tony says, what's up with phase 2? We don't have any updates on that yet. Kevin says, I'm sitting on hold right now, and it's been an hour and a half. Hopefully you're not still on hold. And hopefully if you have been, this has been entertaining for you, or at least giving you something to do. 3 times. I think that's, you guys are talking to each other, I think. Marianne says, EDD mailed me certification forms, even though I already certified for those 4 weeks online pending status. Never happened before. Do I still need to fill those out and mail them back? Thanks, Shelly. Not usually. Is this a brand new claim? I know when you first have a claim, for the first little bit, they send you both hard copy, even if you filed electronically. You might want to set your preference to electronic only. And if it's not a new claim, I would maybe call them and ask them. I know too, a lot of times if you got denied FedEd and you've just been approved for a PUA claim, there is a set of questions that might look similar, but that you need to send back. And that's kind of telling the EDD that the reason why you're still unemployed is because of the illness. Okay, Francis says, how do you file with PUA if I do TurboTax? You're on a budget. So you're waiting for your 1099-G, which is either available online if you chose that method, or they will be mailing it to you. But now they have through February, so it might not come for a little while. But you should be expecting a 1099-G, and you just input that in. It looks like a regular kind of tax, like a W-2, and you just put in how much they paid you, how much you paid in taxes, and it should walk you through that on the free version of TurboTax. Heidi says, hello. Hi, Heidi. Kevin, hold on. It'll be worth it. Yes. When you come to San Diego, you better contact me. I will. They had just opened like a Roberto's with a bar or something. And it did have patio seating in San Diego. I ate a lot of really good food San Diego has good food, guys. And I had per diem. I had a good job. I miss it. Okay. No more crying about the job that I miss. Andrew says, I wish I had a CPA just about now. Me too. Rich, by the way, off topic, AMC and Nokia. Yeah, Nokia to the moon. That's a stock reference. AMC actually did well today, but GameStop fell like a lot. You guys, I'm going to stay off topic. You guys are going to hate this. I'll go 5 minutes over since I'm going to babble about this. This is not a plug. Everybody hates Robinhood right now. I do still like Webull because they give you 4 free stocks when you sign up, and I like free stuff. And don't do this either. If you guys watch Meet Kevin's channel or Graham's channel, I mean, you do whatever, support who you want to, but like support the little guy if you're going to sign up anyway. But I signed up for Robinhood in November of 2019, and my free stock was GameStop, GME. And it was worth like $4 at the time in 2019. And I sure as heck sold that last Wednesday for $330. But then I may have bought some Nokia stock, and then that tanked, and so I'm out the money I made. I'm still learning about stocks. I think people that do stocks are constantly learning about it, right? You never quit learning about that kind of stuff. But I am trying to use this time off to figure that stuff out. Maybe be a CPA also. Okay, so I'm going 5 minutes over for that rant. Thank you for following Shelly's rant. Jared says TurboTax is free to file. Yes, it is. As long as your tax situation isn't complicated. Mine's going to be complicated because I had the job, then I had unemployment, now I have some YouTube money. I feel like there's some other weird stuff too. No, I think that's it. But that 1, 2, 3 punch, I might actually take my taxes. But yes, there's a free version. It should be pretty easy as long as your taxes aren't too complicated. Maddie Man 5 says, remember, you get healthy standard deduction, $12,400 for a single person, which is true. Unfortunately, I had a good job before this, so I'm gonna still owe. Taxes are so individual, guys. It's gonna depend on how much you made before the pandemic. Do you have kids? Do you have deductions? Like I've tried to, I usually contribute to my 401k, but I'm not working. So this year, but I still contributed to an IRA. That'll lower your taxes. Everybody's situation is very different. So, but yeah, there's a hardy standard deduction, and we don't pay state tax on unemployment, just federal tax. Okay. AMC better go to $15 by tomorrow. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, AMC, let's go. I got some stock people in here. Okay. Good. So just because, yeah, and that is what I love. And I have some people that are like, why do you slang Webull and Robinhood to people who are unemployed? Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to be in a better position. This scared the crap out of me when this happened. And if I can somehow, and stocks don't put into the market what you can't afford to lose. It's not for making money quick. And I'm not bragging about that stock. I think it's cool, but like I said, I invested in Nokia and lost the same $300 I got. It's tricky, and normally the advice is to buy and hold and not sell. But at the same time, like I do want to learn about that. If I can make money in stocks, and some people do that professionally, why not? I don't want to have to worry if something like this ever happens again. I want to be set, and there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. Reach for your goals. AMC, let's go. Nokia, let's go. Actually, AMC is a competitor. I don't work for AMC. I work for a movie theater chain. So I saw an article today saying their value was only worth $1. Okay, promise I will go longer since I did that rant. Daniel says, hello. Rich said, yes, be nice. They are leaving notes. And if you bring up YouTube or social media, they hate it. Yes. So don't bring up social media. Just say, oh, I'm not sure. My sister told me to call this number, or my sister got through, or I don't know. I just talked to somebody and then transferred. And maybe don't say that. They can probably see if you got transferred. But yeah, don't mention YouTubers. Don't mention social media. They're really angry at us. I get probably, and they shouldn't be, because even though I'm trying to make a little money on YouTube, it's not like it's fantastic money. It does not replace my salary. And if they would come on and just like do a tweet or a press release or a public statement, I wouldn't have these videos to make. But yes, be nice, but don't bring up social media when you call YouTube. None of that. They do hate it, seems like. Yahtzee says, hello, I'm on PEUC and I'm still on the first round, but it's my last week to certify. What happens after the first round? Then they should load you up with a fresh set of 11 weeks, but it's not quite happening as smoothly as it should. So what you want to do, if you certify for that 1 week and you don't get to certify again in 2 weeks, definitely call them and then they can push that through faster. Rich, I don't think, you guys are talking about, I love it. You guys are talking about stocks. Ugh. I don't think that the stock market, I don't think GameStop's going to 500 personally. Jennifer, thank you so much for your donation, and thank you for the nice comment. She just says the information you gave is invaluable. You give me peace of mind, and thank you. I appreciate it. That, if nothing else, you guys are welcome to vent. You can even be like, don't say bad words in the comments, but you can be like, you're a jerk, Shelly, because you babbled on about AMC and you didn't answer my question. I'm okay with that. If you guys need to vent, go ahead. But do it slowly and like after the video so that I don't get all messed up on the comments. Michelle says, I'm waiting. Thank you again. Michelle says, I'm waiting for a determination interview. Don't call it a termination interview, a determination interview for almost 2 weeks. Your payments are still pending. I haven't gotten your 300. Today I got a reopen claim page. I reopened a claim 2 weeks ago. I would call them. I would at least call them about the reopen claim button. And I would say, hey, they told me I needed a determination interview, a determination interview. Do you know when that will be? Maybe they can at least give you a time frame of when that will be. And also reach out to your local assembly member in the description, linked in the description down below. Hey Hun says that's the number that he called. Can't get through. We don't have issues. They make the issues. It is true. Rich says GameStop ship sailed. I agree. Daniel saying I'm doing a great job. Thank you. Annie says for the employer type question, I answered I'm self-employed, but I'm a worker. So last time I certified, I put not listed. Oh, Annie, I hope you're still in here because I actually saw yours and I wanted to get to it in the comments. So It got my account pending. So for next time, should I just put self-employed? So what you want to do is you list yourself as the employer. You are your employer if you're self-employed. And this is so bizarre, but you also have to say that you would still accept full-time work if you were given the opportunity, right? So list yourself as the employer, because that's what you are if you're self-employed, but also say that you would accept full-time work. And I know that sounds bizarre, but think of it like this. This is how I think of it so that it's not lying, right? If I offered you $70,000, maybe that's too low. Maybe you make more than that self-employment. But let's say I offered you $70,000 to answer my YouTube comments for me from home. And so you didn't have to worry about childcare or anything, even though you're self-employed. If I, a W-2 employer, which I'm not, this is all hypothetical. If I offered you a job for $70,000 that you could do from home, you would take it. So yes, you would still accept full-time work, even though you're self-employed, right? So that's how I think about answering that. And if that's true for you, I feel like that would be a true statement. I'm just now getting to Javier's sticker. I'm about 45 minutes behind. Mary says, do I know a lot about taxes? Only because, Mary's thanking Javier. That was really nice, Javier, if you're still in here. And Jennifer as well. People with J names. My mom's name is Jenny, like Jenny Silver, but it's Jenny. Maybe special love for people whose names start with J today. I do know a lot about taxes only because I've had throughout my lifetime, had a lot of different weird things. I drove Uber for a little while, but I'm not a tax professional. Okay, so SJ says, why do we need to call when they usually don't answer? They're just hang up on me. So reach out to your local assembly member. Just say, hey, I'm experiencing financial hardship. I can't get through to the EDD. They've been hanging up on me. I'm experiencing financial hardship. Can you please help me? And the link on how to find your specific local assembly member is in the description of this video. Dreaming. Is telling Rich he's got a question. Victoria says, hello, I'm on PUA. I certified for the first time in a month last Monday, and I've been pending since. Is that normal? I think we answered that one. It's not normal. But it is happening to a lot of people, so I would go ahead and call. Mina says, just want to say hi to Shelly and Jenny. You guys are so welcome. Aztec John, taxes. Now I got a glitch the whole year. Heidi says, I got all of my back payments loaded today, so she's caught up. And she had ID.me. I think she told me she just did it last week and she's all paid. Caesar, you're welcome, and I'm sorry I missed it before. And thank you for not spamming the comments. You guys have all been great tonight. Rich DM, when I hop on the stock market, do I have to let EDD know? That's an interesting question. I don't recommend cashing out stocks because that is at least a taxable event, even if that would probably go in the other income section of the EDD. But if it's not regular income, we're probably not going to make enough that it would not get us our whole weekly benefit amount. But it is a taxable event. That's why generally the advice is to buy stock and hold. But that wasn't really for me. That was for Rich. SJ said, zero claim on mine. I don't get any messages from them. Heidi's on regular UI because she worked with me. So Heidi was regular. I don't know if she answered that. Heidi and I worked together, and hopefully we'll work together whenever our dang business reopens. Regular unemployment, had ID.me, and then got and went from pending to paid in less than a week. So SJ, you might want to call them. Evelyn, you only have 1 week, but it tells you Certify. I think I answered yours. You guys don't hate me. But Heidi she's on PEUC now, but she was on regular. Okay, I'm going to scroll kind of to the bottom because I want to try and get to some people that are still in the chat. I'm so sorry if your question, if I was right near your question, I missed it. I've already gone more than 5 minutes though. So I want to go maybe 5 minutes more to take up for the stock talk. Yes, please smash the like button. Meet Kevin has really great advice about stock. So is Financial Education Jeremy. And I've also been watching Brian, it's probably Jung, but it's Jung. I've been watching a lot of him lately to try and get better about stocks. saying that because Rich is the last person commented and he's watching those stock channels. Okay, so I see Bob Max question. I have 1 week left. Ooh, I lost Bob Max. I'm gonna scroll up. Okay, I have 1 week left in 2020. I'm PUA and haven't gotten the 11 weeks. There's an EDD office 3 blocks from me. I'm planning to go to that office Thursday morning. No, I don't think they're working from the offices. That's the problem, is that that's office buildings and are not, since I think office buildings across all of California, they're still supposed to be closed unless they absolutely cannot work from home. And that's why I know it's really frustrating when the connection is bad, when the call is dropped, when you guys hear babies in the background, when toilets are flushing, but that's because everybody's working from home. And all of that, okay, except for the disconnected, all of that to me is forgivable because they're kind of in the same position we are, where their work environment changed. They probably, I'm sure there were not enough computers, to give to everybody. So they're doing the best they can with the tools they have. So I can forgive the barking dogs, the crying kids, the TV in the back. But I think that the offices are closed. I don't think you can go and just go in, because lots of people actually have wanted to do that. Mermaid Girl is telling, given some words of encouragement to Margaret. So thank you for that. Oh, and she's helping Sandra. Thank you. Thank you to all of you that are helping each other throughout the chat when I'm not able to get to your questions. Serena's saying that she loves somebody. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's somebody else that's helping her in the chat. Her claim got fixed and now she's pending after certifying when I used to switch to paid right away. So it's common right now for it to stay pending a little longer than usual. And by a little, I mean up to 72 hours. If you get much beyond 72 hours, so 3 days, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, if you wake up Wednesday and it hasn't switched to paid, that might mean that there's a problem. They have started flagging people's accounts for the way they answer the certification questions. So again, on the main questions 1 through 6, all of the answers to not get flagged should be no, but only if that's truthful. And then number 3 should be yes. That's the did I look for work question. Marcos wants to know if there's any news on the third stimulus. No, those ninnies. So Biden had a plan. He wanted the plan. They think they can pass it by, it's a long word that starts with an R, restitution. They can bypass. I don't know. Nothing's passed yet. It's a long word, starts with R, and it's escaping me right now, probably because I need to eat. And then, so Biden had a plan. They think they can get it passed, but then here comes the Republicans. They have a different plan with less money. Surprise, surprise. And now they're all talking about it again. Oh, we might do this. We might do that. You guys know, I don't love making stimulus videos when it's just, oh, we might do this, we might do that, but I might do a breakdown of the difference of the 2 plans and just remind everybody. My fear is that people are counting on checks because they've been talking a lot about the $1,400 checks. Those are not guaranteed yet, because nothing has passed yet. So no. So the word on the third stimulus is there is no word. Oh no, somebody's giving up. Did I miss your question? I don't like when I see that I'm giving up. Oh, okay, Michi, is this it? I have an important question. I got an account suspended on the 20th, got a video chat on the 28th and got verified, but today I got mail from the EDD saying my case is now discontinued as of the 26th. What is the date on that letter? Did it cross? You might want to call the EDD. You're right, Michi, that is an important question. Try and find out if the letter just crossed the video chat, or was that the determination interview? And did they determine that they were discontinuing you as of the 26th? If so call and say, hey, I thought I was good. I just had my video chat, but now I got this letter from you guys saying that my claim was discontinued. Do I need to file an appeal? Because I think there's only 10 days to file an appeal if you need to. So please actively try and call them. Also reach out to your assembly member. Find out what the next step is, because hopefully the letter and the video interview just crossed paths in the mail. But on the off chance that that's not what happened, you need to find out right away so that you can take action right away. Oh, Michi, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That is confusing. Try and call them. Also, just reach out to your, call them, but also reach out to the assembly member, and that link's in the description down below. And I'm really sorry that that happened to you. Okay. One more, guys. Somebody's crying. Oh, somebody's. Daniel, okay. I'm just going to say the best way to reach me is this, and welcome, Roy. Thank you for being a member. Roy, since you're a member, and if you pop your question in right now, I'll try and answer it. The Prodigy is saying, do you have to file taxes on your unemployment in California? Yes. My understanding is, so if you're self-employed, I think you're supposed to report your income if you make over $400. If you've made over $12,000, and most of us probably have made more than that from the EDD, then you need to report it. So, Daniel, I am going to give you my Instagram, but I don't check it a lot. So I don't even know what my handle is. Also, I'm trying to get Blue-Eyed Female. She helped me moderate last time. Oh, no. Okay. My Instagram is Shelly's. No apostrophe because they don't let it. So Shelly's SHELLYS _millions. MILLIONS. Shelly's _millions. Okay. Does Roy have a question? Rosalinda. I also had an employee. I don't think you're her, but I had an employee named Rosalinda Lopez. She got promoted real quick. We loved her. She's doing amazing actually right now. So maybe you're doing amazing and on unemployment because it's possible. Roy, if you have a question since you're a new member, I'm going to try and get to that. Zach is saying, okay, I'm going to do Alika's. I'm going to try and do Alika. If you type it again, it's hard for me to scroll backwards, you guys. If I miss your question, it's not on purpose. Don't ask the question more than 2 times, but Alika, please ask your question again. And then Zach, do your question again. Okay, I see Alika's. Thanks for all you do. Love your videos. I was able to certify today thanks to you. I do know someone who called and had 2 weeks to certify, but they didn't have, what didn't they have? But they didn't have anywhere to put the work search. So yeah, even the work search is actually supposed to be waived. So for some people, it doesn't even give you the screen where you have to list the places. So if you don't have to list the places, that should be fine. But they do say to hit yes to that question. But again, be honest. Or call and be like, hey, it said that I don't have to look for work search right now. Do I actually have to answer that as yes? Because mine actually says, and you must still look for work. So mine has a place where I have to list 3 jobs. But I don't want to tell people to hit yes, and then it flags it for that. So maybe next time somebody calls, just say, hey, it never hurts to look for work though. I don't think they're going to flag you for that, but really the requirement's supposed to be waived anyway. So even if you have the page, you're supposed to be allowed to hit skip, skip, skip. And I think that's the same advice that Jenny's giving. To answer that question, yes, but if you're asked to list an employer, that you can skip it. Okay, Zach says, oh, shoot, I'm going to do Anthony's because he's a member too. Okay, Zach says, do you think it's fair that PUA minimum base is 167, but UI is 40? Why not have a universal minimum base for everybody on unemployment? There's a lot of things that aren't fair. No, I don't think that that's fair. I think that that's ridiculous. I also think in California, 450 as a maximum is a joke. There's other states that have higher maximums. I think that the entire unemployment system needs a complete overhaul. I don't think that things are designed for how we live and work today. For a couple of examples, the system was not designed to like I mentioned, I've worked at my job for 25 years. But there was a time when I drove for Uber. There was a time, so that was like mixed income, right? But a lot of people have their mixed income go the other way, where most of their income comes from self-employment and were put on regular unemployment claims because they worked like a seasonal job at the Halloween store for funsies, and now they're stuck getting $40 a week. So no, Zach, I don't think any of it's fair, but unfortunately, I'm just me in my little old house doing YouTube, and maybe I got to write more letters. I have written letters to my assembly members, but maybe I need to be more active in that, because the whole system needs an overhaul. It's also not fair. One of the things that flags you is if you're honest and you tell it that you're going to school right now, and it's because the system's outdated and it doesn't understand, like, oh, I can work full-time and take classes online, or I can work full-time and take classes part-time. Like, both of those things can exist at the same time, and it doesn't know that. All right, everybody, please take a moment and like the video. I think I was going to do Anthony's because he's a member. And then I got to pop off. Maybe one more. We'll see. Okay, Anthony says, I've been pending since my last payment on December 27th. I've done the ID stuff and they wanted me to do about 2 weeks. Or upset she could see that my ID form was received. Should I call again? Anthony, yes, because you haven't been paid since December 27th. And how long ago did she say that they could see your ID was received? Like, if they told you that yesterday, maybe give it like 3-4 more days, because I know a lot of people are trying to call, and I don't want you to get that mark on your account that you're calling too often or something like that. But at the same time, like, you need your money. Maybe the better path for you is to reach out to your assembly member and see if they can get it moving quickly. Yes, Rosalinda, they are supposedly doing maintenance tonight. So I'm hoping that they're going to get to a lot of claims tomorrow. Jake's saying that he got disqualified. And again, you're going to want to call and find out why. Hopefully that letter just crossed in the mail. If you're like the other person that I was talking about that with, and lost my train of thought because I'm hungry. You're gonna, hopefully the letter is crossed in the mail, but if it's not, you're probably gonna need to file an appeal. And if you need to file an appeal, you need to do that quickly. Scarlett just wants to go back to work. Me too. You're welcome, Anthony. Somebody's telling somebody to call the Bank of America, and that would be if it is Frozen, Prodigy. It just depends. Taxes are all different. Let's see, anybody else's. It said I didn't verify ID on time, but I literally did it the day after they asked me to verify. Yeah, call them. So that used to cause people to disqualify, but now actually they've extended the deadline for you guys to do your ID verification to 30 days. So if they sent that, that's just wrong. But that did used to get people that disqualification message. Call them, see if they tell you that you need to file an appeal, and just say, hey, like, I did it, but you guys didn't get it in time. ID.me didn't send it to you on time. Do I still need to file the appeal? You might want to file the appeal anyway, just to be on the safe side, and then you don't need it. But I don't know if that causes problems. Call them and write to your assembly member. Okay. I'm going to look at Rosalinda's, and then that's going to be the last one for today. You received your 1099, in case anyone was wondering. Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so I lied. I'm going to do one more. Roy just popped his in, and he's a new member, so I'm going to do Roy's question. First time, hope I'm doing this right. I have not received my stimulus check and have not filed taxes. So they actually gave an extension on when you can get your stimulus check to February 6th now. So now, if you don't get your stimulus check by the 6th, that's when you would need to claim that on a credit when you file your 2020 taxes. Okay, to do a mukbang. No, you guys don't want to see that because I talk a lot. I can't talk a lot and eat at the same time. Or is that gross? Is that the point of a mukbang? I don't know. Okay. All right, Julia. Julia, do your question. Julia's question is going to be the last. You guys, there's a lot of questions that come in, and I really want to answer them all, but there's like I don't feel like I would ever be able to end the live. Okay, Julia, I see yours. I'm going to answer it, and Julia's really, really going to be the last one tonight. When will we get paid for 1226 to 110? It didn't give me an option to certify for those weeks when my claim updated. I certified for 117 through 131, but I thought I'd be able to certify 4 weeks altogether. Julia, did you hit the reopen claim button? Because the EDD actually did say something about this. They said that if you hit the reopen claim button, so if it didn't disappear on its own, or if you didn't call them to have it removed, but you actually hit the reopen claim button, they said that you'd be able to certify for the later weeks in January. And then they didn't say when, but at some point in the future, you'll be able to go back and certify for the earlier weeks in January. So if you weren't able to certify, yeah, so that's what happened, Julia. So these are your options, Julia. The EDD has said, and it's in one of their news releases, I can't find it fast enough to read it, but I promise you it said that you'll be able to certify for the later weeks in January, aka the current weeks, and then at some point in the future, but they did not say when, that they'll make the earlier weeks available for you to certify. Now, don't make me sad because you have the sad face in there. That is one of the things, if you call them and you can get through, that they will say to you, they'll be able to add those weeks in right away for you to certify. The tricky part is getting through to them so that they can add those weeks for you. Oh, shoot. Here comes Roxanne. Oh, Roxanne's just saying thank you. I am going to do Roy's because he's a new member and I'm not sure. Oh, your college grandson is claimed on the parents' taxes. He will not qualify for the stimulus check. I don't think children over the age of 17 qualified. So I don't think he's going to get one, even if his parents claim him. Okay, that's got to be all for me, guys, because I'm starting to not answer questions right because I haven't eaten in too long. I will make a video tomorrow. I have the one I think I'm going to do if the 1099 doesn't look correct that you received. And if it's 0, it's still updating. So I think that's going to be tomorrow's video. I have a lot of video ideas. Save yourself the grief from calling the EDD and message them. That you guys can try that too. Ask EDD or the contact us and your assembly member, link in the description. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Lalo, I really want to answer your question. I'm my throat is dry. Dry too. So for the 1K grant for the EIDL, it depends on a couple of things. It depends on if you're in a low income neighborhood. So you first need to find out if you make less than the medium. It's going to be really hard to get that extra $9,000 basically. And I think to get that additional amount that you are supposed to show a loss of more than 30%, in 2020 over the year of 2019. So that's for the EIDL grant for the self-employed. So it's going to be really, really hard to get that extra $9,000. And I don't think it's going to just happen automatically. I think you're going to need to ask for it. And I'm going to refer you over to Meet Kevin's videos because he has a lot of really good videos. Type in Meet Kevin EIDL, although I feel like he doesn't say enough. I thought I could apply for that, but I can't because your business was your business started before February 15th of 2020. If it wasn't, if you just started driving Uber or started doing YouTube after February 15th, 2020, then you weren't even supposed to get the first 1,000. So it's going to be hard to get that extra 9,000. Got to live in a poverty area and show a loss of more than 30% in 2020 over any quarter in 2019. Okay. Bye for real, you guys. AMC to the moon, Nokia to the moon, if you guys are still watching, but don't gamble in the stock market. Okay. Only invest money that you can afford to lose. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Video for you guys tomorrow. Max Maher is a good source for EIDL. Okay, perfect. So yes, use that calculator. Does he go over the poverty areas? Okay. Bye, guys. Good luck with your claims. Hopefully the update fixes things.